Can AoE nukes still cut it? And the healing hands are back again. We're going to talk about all that in this next round of Summer Heroes. First up, though, we need to discuss Yuri. And let's see this boy in all of his glory. All right, so we have a Cav dagger, and he has foul play, and he has shenanigans. As you can see, an extra piece of movement there, and Tangy Sunday. So let's look just briefly at Tangy Sunday. We have Sling, Dagger 7, of course. At start of turn and after unit acts, including after Kanto, inflicts speed, defense -7, sabotage, and panic on closest foes and foes within 2 spaces of them. This would be excellent if it just had exposure. It really, really needed exposure. Past that, we have start of combat. If unit initiates or foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75%, you get an Omni plus 14, a true damage of 25, a flat DR of 14, and you restore 7 HP after combat. And you get Scowl on this weapon as well. This is an offensive Scowl, which is still pretty good, especially if you're considering units like BK. That's a very, very big deal against folks like him. So let's look at what else this unit has. We have foul play, of course. We have attack speed waylay. This is new. If unit initiates combat or number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1, grants attack speed +8 to unit during combat. And also if foe's HP is equal to 100% at start of combat, grants an additional attack speed +2 to unit, and unit deals 7 damage during combat. The true damage is very nice. The HP condition is not great, but I'm assuming, well, this unit is going to not be very sturdy. So you're probably not going to want this unit to be hit at all. If unit initiates combat or the number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1, and if unit speed is greater than foe speed, you get full null follow-up. This is okay. This is a side grade to a lot of things. The null follow-up there is nice. The +7 damage is nice. This is not bad, and Cavs like stuff like this, so they need more toys. Let's move on, though. I don't think this is going to impact the meta in any big way. You do have full disarm, which is nice. The disarm skills, I usually prefer potent, especially for units with high true damage, but we'll get to that. The true Dami is what we're looking at here, and this one, let's pull up the cheat sheet once more. This has Kanto 2, and after Kanto enables, you get foul play. And so that is, this is the shadow foul play, which is really, really powerful. That is incredibly handy. Foul play has always been very nice, and this is, you get 2 of them now, which is kind of crazy. Start of turn, unit can move 1 extra space. You get dodge, which with all the piercing, who cares? And then if stall is active, you get the Yuri thing where you don't get drop down to 1 movement, but you still are stuck with 3, which 3 versus 4 isn't as bad as if for infantry where it was dropped down to 2, but that's, anyway, it's not bad. It helps versus stall. You get start of combat. If HP is greater than or equal to 25%, you get true damage of 7 and a flat DR of 7 on foe's first attack. And then at start of combat, foes within 3 rows and 3 columns get speed, defense -5 and 50% piercing. Okay, so that's not bad. All of this looking at the kit. The thing we should be asking is, how does this unit stack up? This is a little harder. This unit doesn't come with a special, and lethality is a little more difficult to really go into with the true damage. It does a few other things. I have left that out. What I have included is the flat DR of 22, which is not terrible for a nuke, but obviously what we were talking about, this unit isn't going to be really surviving anything. Any of today's Erica-based saviors are just going to laugh at him. It's not going to be great. True damage of 39 is lower than I thought it would be, and I'm a little disappointed there. It's not terrible. I wanted higher for a unit like this. I think they're doubling down on the standard Yuri thing where mobility is his big deal and the other stuff kind of takes a backseat, which is in this broken meta right now. I'm less pleased in this one than I would like to be. I would like for this to be a little bigger. As far as where I'm ranking him, though, I've got him in the tier 2, which is the tier 2 is I have neat stuff and can help your team. So the mobility that Yuri offers is going to be very neat, but I don't think he's going to reach the heights of, well, certainly not Yunaka and not even really the Julia Lucina tier here. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is not a bad unit, and if you're a Yuri fan, there is a space for him, but this isn't a unit that you're going to be seeing everyone complain about come, 2 days from now. So just keep that in mind. Next up, we have Heiðrún, and I'm having a little trouble with this unit because I am having trouble figuring out why you would use this one versus the others. There's a few differences, but it's not groundbreakingly different, which I am a little surprised at, to be honest. So Tropical Nectar, you get Slaying, Distant Counter, you get the standard beast infantry stuff there, including full tempo and +7 true damage, which is nice. Then for allies within 3 rows and 3 columns, you get attack, defense, res +5, no penalties to attack, defense, and res, and a guaranteed follow-up. I have talked a lot about how good Crux is, and this is very nice to have on a support unit like this. Anyway, start of combat, if unit is transformed or foe initiates, you get attack, defense, res +14, no penalties to attack, defense, res, guaranteed follow-up. True damage equals 20% of res and damage reduction of 20% of res. I have been calculating like a round number after you count in effective and everything. Like for the purposes of this, I've been throwing 100 at that. And when we don't have stats, that's pretty handy. And you'll find that it's pretty close to true for critical stats. So when I call this stuff out, I do have to make some adjustments. Know that that's kind of what I'm looking at there. So if you look at that as true damage of 20 and a DR of 20, you're going to be in the range. This is okay. Let's move on. So past that, you have Ice Wall, which is very, very good. And I have been looking at how good this special is and just marveling. The boost damage by 70% of res is not to be slept on. Defense res fortune, which is also good on this, and this unit likes it a lot. It keeps you transformed, and a lot of other units are going to want to inherit this, but I don't know how many extra Heiðrúns you guys are going to be able to grab. Lagu's Friend 4, I'm interested there. It's not bad. It's what people normally put on Heiðrúns. But then we get down to Sweet Nectar, and Sweet Nectar is actually pretty simple. You get Bulwark, and then you get Divine Vein Nectar spread about at player of enemy phase, and then you get the Divine Nectar thing where everyone gets to dance. And then at start of combat, if within 3 spaces of an ally, you get attack, defense, res +5, +7 damage, and a flat DR equal to 7. This is okay, and this is going to sound crazy, but we've passed the point where Heiðrún is the greatest unit ever. And this is an upgrade, but it's not a huge upgrade. Like, this is a little bit of an upgrade. And to some people, this might actually be a side grade depending on what you are looking for. But still, this is nice, and I mean the art is spectacular, so you've got that. Let's look a little bit at the stats, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Flat DR of 27 is kind of lower right now. I mean, keep in mind, you've got Neithogre at 33, so it's not that far off, and that this is in the range of the current saves right now. But the problem is she has no real ability to kill back with a true damage of 27, which is definitely low, and a boosted damage of 80. But keep in mind that's only if you've got Ice Wall going off. Ice Wall has to go off for that to happen. That is a lot though, and that is something that can be detrimental to the health of the other units involved. As far as my rankings, this unit isn't going to touch the top tier of units right now. Just not. Real briefly, Larotha's probably heading down pretty soon. I do still like what the unit does. I've seen the unit less and less though. That's really the only big standout I have on here. Past that though, yeah, I do really like Tharja, and Anathema is fantastic, but it is good in very specific cases. But I mean, the same with, you've got the same with that whole tier 2. Like Lyn is the same thing, very good in specific cases, and I think Heiðrún is going to be that same thing. The problem is a lot of these units have capabilities outside of that. Those are units that can kill things as well as what they're doing. That boost damage is nice, and this unit is going to retaliate very hard. But likely you are not going to have a situation where this unit is going to be a nuke, where a lot of these other units are that way. So let me know in the comments, maybe I'm missing something there, but I'm not overly impressed with that unit. I'm just not. Let's look at the next one though. Now, normally I don't have to go in and do the demotes, but this one has a preference weapon and a preference skill. Like, what is happening here? So Ocean Fit Antler, it's also a large preference skill. Like that's a lot of text. Let's read here. So you have Slaying. At the start of turn, if within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack defense +6, null bonuses, and guaranteed follow-up to unit and nearby allies. That's all of that stuff right there. That's nice. Null bonuses, we've talked about we'll talk about Treachery in just a second, how powerful that is. Next we have, if unit or allies near unit have visible buffs, you grant a +3 additionally to each buffed stat at a max of 10. This unit has always had the weird bonus doubler effects with units that are around it. I would probably consider this a +10 most of the time, so just keep a lookout for that. That is very nice to have, and I mean, stats don't matter until they do. There is a threshold where they definitely matter, and this unit gives out a lot of stats. Then we have at start of combat, if unit initiates or is within 2 spaces of an ally, you get a bonus of +14 conditionally to attack, defense, res. You get a true damage of 14 conditionally, and a flat DR of 7. And then you get preempt pulse. This has a weird formula to it. The way I'm calculating that looks like it's most of the time going to be 1. I'm guessing I'm mathing wrong there, and that can't be right. I had a lot of stuff to go in, so I didn't get to dig in that too far. My guess is that's more like 2, but let me know in the comments. And then you have the typical Beast Cav transformation stuff, which is nice. Moving on, you have Bonfire, which I mean, there are a lot of other great things on this that you could put on this unit. Attack Defense Wild, which is the first time we've seen this, and I'm not even going to read this because you're probably looking at something else. Beast Cavs have some amazing stuff. And then we have Divine Brawn in the B. And Divine Brawn is Canto 2, Beast Fortune. And at the start of turn, you get null penalties, which is really nice. And that's actually kind of powerful. And then at start of combat, if unit's attack is greater than or equal to foe's attack, -5, it inflicts attack defense -7 on foe. And then there's another condition with defense that you get attack defense -5 on foe. And then you inflict another attack defense -5 on foe, which is like that's like 17. Like that's not bad. It's pretty good. And then you get a 50% piercing and restore 7 HP after combat. So, all right. Normally I would have stats here. I don't generally do damage analysis on, I normally do it on just the kit that is in this build. It would take a lot of effort if I optimized every kit, so I didn't do it for this unit. I think this unit is going to have about the same impact as Winter Eikthynir. Keep in mind, I mean, I do think this is an upgrade, but I don't believe that this unit is going to be breaking any sort of meta, but I do think this is enough that this is going to be a very fun unit. So if this is your favorite, I think you're going to be able to go out and have a lot of fun. Plus, this is the demote, so if you want to merge this unit up, it's also much, much cheaper. All right, then we have Duo, Constance, and Hapi, with Hapi as the lead, which I know some folks are going to be very, very happy about. This is a blue tome flyer with Kaboon doing the artwork, and we have an AoE nuke. Now, if you've been paying attention, AoE nukes have not had the best time recently because everything has been anti-AoE. So this unit is going to have a lot to get going. Now, there are some nice things. If we look at Summer Chilling, effective versus Beast and Dragons is a big deal. That is, I mean, almost every meta save right now, other than BK, is a Beast or a Dragon. So that's going to be fun. Now, you notice what I just said there, though. The best save is BK, and this doesn't cover that. So that's another thing altogether. This unit has the crazy warping thing where allies within 2 spaces can move 2 spaces within 2 spaces of unit, and Dragon Beast allies within 6 spaces can do the same. So, that's really good. The thing you're worried about is, does it matter? I don't know if practically that really comes into play. You know what I mean? Is that something that's going to come up? Your armors are definitely there, and that's really about it. So that can be handy. In most game modes, it's not going to make too much of a difference. It is neat though. Okay, past that, we get at start of turn to unit and allies within 2 spaces. You get preempt pulse of 2. You get attack speed +6, treachery, null bonuses, and grants Canto 1 to dragons and beasts. All of that is to unit and allies within 2 spaces. The 2 spaces is a little oof, but keep in mind that is start of turn. So you'd like to be able to grant that to a bigger range of folks, but it's not a drive. This is something you're actually getting. And treachery is very, very powerful. Past that, start of combat, if unit initiates or is within 2 spaces of an ally in combat, you get an attack speed +6 plus 20% of speed at start of combat. You get a true damage of 20% of speed and follow up before foe's next attack. So you get desperation, you get extra true damage. All of this is on AoEs, including what you're getting from treachery. So that's a lot. Let's look at the rest of the kit. We have Blazing Light. We have Verge of Death, Speed, Res, Far, Resound, which I do like these skills a lot. You get Piercing and a couple of the cool things, and then you get Speed, Res, Crux. Let's look at the damage analysis. That's really what we're wondering, like how much does this unit put out? Now, this is another thing, and we talked about this way back when we talked about Sigurd. This chart does not take into account AoEs. Just it doesn't really do that. So the boosted damage is not really going to be any good to you at all here. The flat DR for this unit is nothing. Like this unit is going to, yeah. You do not want this unit to get hit. That is period, end of sentence. Do not want that. True damage of 44 is interesting. This is high. And that's 44 added on to your AoE, but only if they don't have Dull All. If they have, if they're getting rid of bonuses, then suddenly that all goes away. Like most of that, 24 of that is all wrapped up in treachery. So you can see what you have here is a situationally very powerful unit that sometimes does absolutely nothing and sometimes will demolish things, and you still have to get around all of the great stuff like Divine Nectar and like Breath of Life and like Imbue that BK gives out. I feel like this is a unit that they already gave us a counter for, so it's interesting. And to top that off, they didn't give us a preference skill, which was kind of interesting. I didn't mention, real quickly, I didn't mention the duo skill. It's okay. Duo skills don't normally really change things unless they're just amazing. The dual skill grants special cooldown count -1, so it helps with AoE's. You get 1 extra movement, which is great, and then you get incited, and you get to activate it every 3rd turn. So it's not really pushing anything too much. But, I mean, I don't know. As a duo unit, this is okay. Again, I'm a little worried about the targets. I'm going to give a real quick plug to the store. Sprinkles did all of this amazing Chrom art. I absolutely love it. I get my towel in about a week. I'll let you guys know how it looks. I have a pair of that underwear. We'll discuss that later. The link is right up above me. Give it a click. Let's get back to the tier list, though. And here's the thing. I have this unit ranked... I have this unit in tier 1, but this is one of those cases where I'm giving this unit the benefit of the doubt, which I will do sometimes. In my head, this unit is between tier 2 and tier 1. There's a possibility that they drop down lower. And when that happens, since it's a new unit, I normally assume that it's going to be in tier 1 somehow. I do think this is at the lower end of tier 1, though. And we could find out differently. We absolutely could, but I am looking at how AoE's have fared, and I am seeing how much this unit is dependent on that to really make kills. And overall, I think this is about where you're going to be. I question what this unit is going to be able to take out, and I definitely don't think this unit is going to be able to take out BK. That unit is very, very powerful. So I could be wrong, but another thing that this unit absolutely depends on is that desperation effect, and the only way you get rid of that is to out defense BK, and this unit isn't going to do that. That's just not going to happen. So that's where we have it. Overall, these units just don't really break anything. They're good, but not amazing. So if these are your favorites, definitely go out and summon for them. And I mean, Braves are coming, so there is that as well. If you're looking for more Fire Emblem Heroes content, I have a ton of it right here. Go check that out. Members, you are amazing. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.